Have you heard of the Anchor app? Okay. If you haven't heard of the Anchor app, let me tell you. It's this app where if you ever wanted to start a podcast, you can literally start a podcast for free in under 5 minutes. Yes, girl, 5 minutes. You upload your cover art, you give your podcast a cool, catchy name, and bam, your podcast is on Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it. So go ahead, turn off this podcast real quick. You have my permission. Go and download our Anchor and start your podcast today.
Black girl from Brick City. And now, watch what I'm into.
Hello. Welcome back, guys. How you doing today? It's your girl Ace with a Y, and welcome back to Black Girl from Brick City. I hope you guys have had a productive week. Yo, You came out on Netflix on Friday, and that show is very, very disturbing. Like, honestly, these past 3 weeks have been very disturbing. Everybody's talking about the Mercury retrograde. They say that it was supposed to be over October 18th. What's today? Oh, that's today. They said it was supposed to be over today. They said that, the past 3 weeks have been chaotic with technology and miscommunication because of the retrograde, and how a lot of relationships and a lot of different ways of communications have been really difficult. We usually deal with that on a day-to-day basis, but they said it was supposed to be extra crazy. And I don't know about nobody else, but these past 3 weeks have just been like, I wouldn't say chaotic. I would say just weird things happening that I can't explain. You know what I'm saying? That's what I had to experience these past 3 weeks. And I don't know, I feel like I handled myself the best way I could. And I've definitely learned some lessons over the past weeks. I've learned, I've definitely learned that it's okay to not be in control of everything. Some things you just cannot control, girl. Just imagine you just keep beating yourself up over something you literally cannot change. You just gotta let go and let God. And that's one of those words. Well, yeah. One of those quotes scriptures that people say that may seem cliche, but when you let go and you just let things be, it's a certain peace that comes with that. And I've tapped into that peace because, I can't stress over things I really can't control. I've also learned that everything doesn't need to be explained with words, Sometimes a person's actions will tell you everything that you need to know. You may think to yourself, did they really mean what they did when they did what they did, when they did that thing, when they did it? And you're sitting here looking and begging for explanation. The person probably will never explain it or can't explain it, or you just don't know why a certain thing happened to you. Why did you lose that opportunity when you worked so hard for it? You'll never understand it. You'll never understand why people do you dirty, bro. But sometimes, why do you need an explanation in words when the actions were so there, so evident, so right in your face? So I've learned to not expect words from everybody, because even if you don't get words, you definitely gonna see them actions. And I've learned to stop distracting myself from just feeling different types of emotions. We're all gonna go through some things, y'all. But the thing is, you have those people who are workaholics, who have to be working on something so that they don't really have to sit with those difficult feelings or thoughts. I'm one of those people. Like, I like to be busy. I like to be in the gym. I like to always be active so that, like, not that I can avoid these feelings, but so that I have less time sitting with them. Like, but I have done a lot of emotional hard work, I would say. And that's actually what I wanted to base today's topic on, because it's been such a whirlwind of emotions, and I've seen everybody speaking about how, everyone's just on edge, so many different emotional battles. So I remember learning in college about this term called emotional intelligence. I'll never forget it. My professor, it was actually the first listening class on Kean University campus in Union, New Jersey. That's where I graduated. And she basically did a whole course. We had a whole semester on just learning how to listen. And she brought up emotional intelligence. And that's when I learned about the term. And it really changed my life. It changed how I spoke to others, how I spoke to myself. It changed how I behaved in public. Like, if you haven't heard the term, I'm glad you clicked on this episode, because I'm going to break it down. I actually have my college notes that I took the definitions from. And I'm just going to read it, and I'm just going to go through the different terms, because I know not everyone has heard of the term emotional intelligence. So I wanted to go ahead and read the textbook definition of it. And if you look on Google, they have their definitions. But as far as now, I'm going to read this one. So it says emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions and be sensitive to others' feelings. So other people's feelings. So the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions, and while also being sensitive to other people's feelings. And that is the textbook definition of emotional intelligence. My definition of emotional intelligence would be learning how to put yourself in other people's shoes, learning how to be aware of others and how your actions and movements make them feel, being accountable for how you make people feel. That's basically how I took the term when I learned it in that course. And I've learned that the 4 components of emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-management, relationship management, and social awareness. And I put in parentheses, empathy. Now, self-awareness is being aware of one's self. And then the terms that I put in my notes from college are slow down, journal, managing emotions even under stress, able to identify what I'm feeling. So for a long time, I wasn't able to really identify with what I was feeling, especially when I was younger. Of course, when we're younger, we don't know techniques and terms and all that stuff. So the one emotion that I would always identify with is probably sadness or anger. Because I would either get super frustrated about something and cry. How many of y'all do that for real? Like, don't lie. How many of y'all get mad frustrated to the point y'all cry? Anyway, I would get so frustrated that I would cry. Or I would get so frustrated that I would get upset, angry. And if I was more self-aware, I would know that the emotion that I'm feeling in that moment is temporary. It is based on something that happened in that moment, and it could be handled so many different ways than sadness, crying, and distress and anger. And like myself, it's a thing that if you don't know, you won't be able to do. So even though like no one's perfect, it's good to know these things so that you can become more self-aware. Because even though no one can be perfect, you can definitely be more aware and a more likable person and a more empathetic person. Then the second is self-management. And in my notes it says staying in control. Have a clear idea of the lines that you will never cross. That's so important, y'all. Holding yourself accountable and practicing daily how to remain calm. Control. Wow, guys. One of my favorite books, I think I stated in one of my episodes before, it was Master Your Emotions by, I don't have his name in front of me, but Tybalt. And again, that book gives you practical techniques at how to master your emotions under difficult circumstances, how to really process your emotion, what you're feeling, and release it. Because there are some people that just will cross any line. Any line. There are no lines. And we've all probably been there and done that when we've done something and we're like, damn, like I wish I didn't get to that point. But it's okay. You can start over and you can tell yourself, listen, this is the clear boundary that I would never, ever cross with anyone. If anyone's being disrespectful to me, I would never, for example, spit on them. You know what I'm saying? That's just some shit that's like, come on. I will never cross that line. That's self-control, self-management. There's certain things like, and also with you knowing what you will never cross the line, you have to be aware of surrounding yourself with people who will never cross certain lines. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do find yourself crossing certain lines, you have to be so mature that you hold yourself accountable to not do it again, or to learn from that experience and make a turnaround. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that again. And the one thing that brought me peace is really practicing staying calm. Like, of course, there's times where it just don't work, sis. Like, when you mad, you mad. When somebody playing with you, you mad, okay? But there's some situations that some people get mad at. Like, I'm talking about flustered. You hear these stories online, people killing each other over Facebook posts. It's like, we just got to practice being calm when people play in our face. Like, it's such a strength. Like, it's such a strength. It's such a skill. Like, we trying to be Master Imp out here, okay? Master Ip. Like, if you don't watch Master Ip, he was basically a kung fu instructor who had such self-control. Like, he actually probably had the highest emotional intelligence in the entire world. And they put all the series on Netflix, so go watch that. All right, then I'm going to break down in my notes what I put for relationship management. Now, the way my professor explained it is being able to manage multiple relationships in healthy ways. You're the person that's able to go to work and keep your boss off your toes. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly how to read the room of the networking event. You know who to talk to. Then you go home and you're able to be a great sibling. You know how to speak and respect your sister and your brothers. Your mother loves you because you're respectful and you just, you're able to give her what she wants so she can stop yapping, Y'all know. It's like, nah. We love our mothers. But then you're able to go in your relationship and be an amazing husband, an amazing wife, an amazing girlfriend or boyfriend. You're able to juggle his or her needs as well as yours. You're able to manage your relationships and the emotions of each. You're able to keep work. You're able to keep home life. You're able to keep, you're able to keep track of all your relationships. And that was something when I learned about it, that's something that I really wanted to work on. So I made sure to really try to keep in touch with my main circle and really, even if we don't speak for a while, I would like to always just keep in touch, make sure they're good. And that goes to the last component of emotional intelligence, which is social awareness, having empathy, putting yourself in other people's shoes, paying attention to other people's body language, y'all, and being able to respond to other people's emotions. So this is the major part of emotional intelligence. I think the two major parts that I felt were self-awareness and social awareness. Because self-management is very important as well. But when you aren't self-aware, it's really hard to self-manage what you're not aware of. So I feel like self-awareness is super important because when you're aware of yourself, you're able to tune into other people. And social awareness is being able to tune into other people and knowing, okay, this person's dog just died. Let me not tell her how much of an awesome day me and my dog had today. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example I can think of. Or I know my friend is really going through a financial hardship. And I'm not just going to keep inviting her out to eat, or I'm not going to keep inviting her to places when I know she's trying to save, or you're just mindful of other people around you. And these are just examples. You could just use it in any way, but it's basically being able to read the room, walk in the room and see who's... All right, how about this? You ever been in those moods where you're just like, you're working, you're at work and you're just focusing on work, and then you got that coworker that's talking you to death, and you're not even looking up from your computer. You're looking straight at the computer, but they are so low in emotional intelligence that they can't tell that you're trying to get something done. They literally cannot tell because they're not aware that they are annoying you. They're not reading your body language. Your body language, that you're not looking them in their eyes, you're looking at the screen, shows that you are disinterested in the conversation. I mean, I don't think everyone knows how to spot those cues, because I've witnessed, and not even just at work, but other places, other people talking to someone. Like, I'll see someone talking to someone, and I can literally tell the other person does not want to talk. And sometimes you want to mind other people's business, and you want to be like, girl, I don't think she's in the mood, but like, is it my business? It's just not. So you have to read people's body language. You just can't talk to someone who literally does not want to talk to you. It's like talking to someone with headphones in. But that makes you such a stronger person. That makes you such a more wiser person. You know, just being emotionally intelligent, it makes you such a better person. You're a more likable person. People know that you respect their boundaries, their feelings. People know that you're always going to know how to act because you're able to just calm down and think. So many times, even thinking now, like, there's so many times where I found myself consumed in a certain emotion, and I could not turn it off. There was nothing I could do to turn it off. And when I look back, I wish I could have told myself, stop, slow down, stop acting so impulsive. You know, when you have low emotional intelligence, you're more impulsive, you're just defensive. It's very hard to tell what you're feeling because you never even sit and think. And emotional intelligence is basically emotional education. You have to educate yourself. There are pros to having it, you know. You get better opportunities. You're able to forgive people. You're able to respect others. And I think that's the most beautiful part of being emotionally intelligent, that you literally treat others as you wish to be treated. And everybody knows that's Bible. And it's not easy practicing self-awareness, but everything that is worth it is going to be a little bit harder. So you're going to have to do that hard work. You're going to have to really work on yourself, give yourself some techniques, give yourself some self-care days, give yourself some journal days, and educate yourself. Do whatever you need to do Some people like to read. Some people like to listen to podcasts. Some people like to scroll on Instagram but looking up the topic emotionally intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And see, like, you can get education anywhere. So that is the episode, guys. I just wanted to really break down that word, because when your emotions are attacked, it's so hard to just say stop, breathe. It's so hard. I know. It's so good when you're in a good mood and you're like, yeah, I'm going to be so emotionally intelligent today. Like, let me tell you, when somebody cuts you off and you driving down the road and somebody hit you or somebody almost hit you, you're not emotionally intelligent no more. You want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's bringing you constant stress. You want to show them just how, bothered you are. But it's such a peaceful place to be when you are able to think about your actions before you do them. And it actually makes life a little better, because you have less regrets. You have, you're just more proud of yourself. You're like, damn, like, I could have really been in that situation, and instead of that, I did this, like, and you're able to be an example. If that's what your goal is, to be the best version of yourself, regardless if you want to or not, you will be an example to others. Like, people tell me all the time, Ace, I love the fact that you're just always so happy and always so bright and positive. And when people say that, I love it, because, for the most part, people really don't know like what it takes for me to be this carefree, this free, even when I'm feeling a little bit defeated. I'm able to feel this free because I'm connected to the Most High. I'm connected to Yahweh, and I love myself. And I want to find every way possible to be the best version of me, because honestly, I want to be the best version of me when my kids come, my future kids. I want to be the best wife. I want to be the best woman in my support groups or in any setting at work, while I'm on stage. I want to be that best version of me, and I want to attract the best for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you heard about the word emotional intelligence before this episode, shout out to you. You are in tune. And if you did it, it's okay. Like, let me know if you learned anything from this episode, and also you can look it up. I've seen so many videos on it. You can do it one step at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. It's episode 8. Woo, woo, woo. Get on hand claps. And I just want to say that this podcast journey has been so exciting. We are at episode 8. I will end season 1 on episode 10. And then my major goal is to start season 2 with a bang. I'm talking about trying to really take this video podcast, okay? So we can have some video. Because I know last episode, maybe 2 episodes ago, it was supposed to be video, but my setup is just not there yet. And I'm not about to just be putting out any video. I want to really have it synced with the audio, and I want to get the proper programs to do it. So season 1 will be over on episode 10, and then season 2 is going to be bigger, better, and thank you so much for starting with me, guys, and I hope you have an amazing night, an amazing week and weekend. Bye.
When I drive, gotta peek through the window. Black girl, gotta watch what I'm into. Black girl, you don't know what I've been through. Dark skin, got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. They scared. Powerful, I got powers, superpowers, and you can't stop it, no. Got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. They scared. 'Cause I'm powerful, I got powers. Black girl from Brick City.